Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. Time for another brilliant lecture for Sisseton Wahpeton College students. And broadcasting live from lovely downtown Indianapolis, Indiana. And here comes your host, the brilliant professor himself, Professor Victor Singingeagle. Yay! Okay. I mess around way too much, so I'm going to get on this real quick. Last time we were talking, we were discussing characterization, were we not? You can see that I started off nice and wide, and I ended up running out of space here almost, so I had to scrunch these characters up, and I'm going to go through this quickly. We defined characterization on my handy cell phone as what a literary person, in air quotes, is like through his or her appearance, personality, thoughts, words, actions, motivations, and inner life, and how other characters respond to him or her. There is a reason why I used air quotes. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's keep rolling. So this isn't a work of fiction, could even be a work of non-fiction. This is in writing primarily, or storytelling, as we know. In native literature, characterization might include plant people, animal people, rock people, even spirit people. And it often extends beyond the individual. Important. It can also express and dramatize relationships among people, the community, the land, and the spirit world. It often shows how identity is shaped through connection rather than isolation. This is oftentimes something that we need to think of in relationships to non-native literature. I highlighted that on purpose. Keep in mind also that one unique aspect of native literature is the plant people, animal people, rock people, spiritual people, alleged inanimate objects. I believe the poets call that the not logical fallacy, they call pathetic fallacy. We don't need to know that right now, but it's coming. That's a term we need to know in the future. Pathetic fallacy. The attribution of human traits, feelings, thoughts, words to inanimate objects. We'll get into that in a minute. We're going to get back to characterization. That's what we talked about last time. Now, I also mentioned all the different types of characters, not all of them, but many different types, like a flat character, a sympathetic character, a protagonist, an antagonist, all that fun stuff. And I said that flat characters and stock characters are closely related. They might even be one and the same. However, I do need to add an important caveat. Sometimes writers create flat characters because of bad writing or laziness. Other times they do it on purpose. Now, why would an author create a flat character on purpose? It's because they're trying to use a stock purpose and they don't want to waste a whole lot of time. That character is there for effect, to represent an idea, an icon, or the term archetype. Now, Theophrastus is the character I was trying to tell you. He's not a character. He was a living, breathing Greek from 300 years before Christ. And he was the student of Aristotle. He was not. Remember last time I was talking to you, I said it was Aristotle, but it wasn't Aristotle. He was a student of Aristotle. So, I screwed up there. Anyway, Theophrastus, which I'm probably mispronouncing his name, he and a bunch of other ancient highfalutin Greeks came up with these ideas on how to write good plays, because they were big in writing plays. And he came up with a list of stock characters. We don't need to know about them. We don't need to care about them because they're just in and out of the story, and they just represent the idea of something. So if I tell you, think of a tree, close your eyes and think of a tree, boom, an archetypical tree will pop into your head. If I say, nope, you're thinking of the wrong kind of tree. I want you to think of a pine tree, not a deciduous tree. Then you got, boom, pop into your head a pine tree. And you're pretty much thinking of an archetypical tree. Evergreen is another way to say that. Now, Theophrastus has some characters that he had an inventory of. A lot of them are outdated, and some of them might still be relevant today. It's up to you to decide as the readers, okay? So let's look at some of them that he had mentioned in his writing. He had one called the boar. I guess that's sort of like the fat, oafish Fred Flintstone, Peter Griffin, Homer Simpson kind of character. It's a little bit dumb and doing stupid things all the time. We have the superstitious character. We have the flatterer, the coward, and the hapless character. This is not the full list. He had a whole bunch of them, but this is just a few. My question to you as students of native literature is, can you, wait, I got two questions. Number one, do you think stock characters, archetypical characters, that is, another way to say it, can be useful in native literature? Let me repeat that. Do you believe that we can apply stock characters, archetypical characters to native literature? Again, these are flat characters that are flat on purpose. Hey, Victor! Well, I don't know if he's an archetype or not, or he's a stock character, but he might become one, which reminds me. A character, a stock character, is often a stereotype or started off as a round character and became a flat character over time. Did you guys know that Santa Claus used to be a real human being? He was either a bishop or a cardinal. I believe he lived in Turkey and he was skinny. How did he become the archetypical stock big man with a bowl full of jelly and wearing a floppy, fuzzy hat with a white and red? Well, we got to thank the poet, whose name I can't remember right now, and Coca-Cola. You know what? We got a little bit of time. I'm going to look him up. Night Before Christmas. Who wrote Night Before Christmas? Clement Clark Moore. 'Twas the night before Christmas and all through the house. Remember that poem? Yes, you do. He's the one who originally described Santa Claus in words, and then Coca-Cola came along and drew pictures of him as a big, fat, jolly red man with red, ruddy cheeks and a red cherry nose in addition to the poem. And voila, that's who we have, the big beard and all that. Now he has become a stock character. The original, remember, was a skinny bishop who lived in Turkey, and now he has become a stock character. So whenever we say the word Santa Claus, we can all close our eyes and immediately think of the big, fat, jolly white man with a big old beard and white hair and a sack on his back and ho, 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 and jolly and all that. By the way, 57 days till Christmas. Never mind, focus. Right, I got another challenge. Another challenge question for you. Challenge question number 2 is, I got to pull it up on my phone. As native students of native literature, can you come up with some archetypical characters of your own? Remember, some of these might be out of date. I don't know if we have so many superstitious characters nowadays. How about a flatterer? How about a coward? Maybe Coyote might be a really good one for a combination of, he does boorish stuff, flattery stuff, cowardly stuff, and a lot of hapless stuff. By the way, a hapless person is sort of like a klutz, a clumsy nerd who always has bad things that happen to him, and he's always down on his luck, like Schlep Rock. You guys are too young to remember who Schlep Rock is. Never mind. Look him up. I don't even know how to spell Schlep because it's a Yiddish word. Schlepp maybe. And Schlep Rock from the old Flintstones show. Never mind. We're going to go focus. Let me see. Is there anything else I need to bother you with? Right. I'm going to knock it off there. I do want to tell you that I'm going to make another section where I sit and read from our wonderful book, Read, Listen, Tell. So thank you so much for being so patient with me, and with that, I'll knock it off and wish you an awesome rest of the day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. 11 minutes.